Hello, scholars. Let's start talking about developing a rebuttal to address a counterclaim. To start by reviewing our vocabulary, counter-argument is an argument that is issued in response to someone else's argument to show that the original claim is somehow incorrect. So this is where you're saying, I disagree because, right? And now you offer your rebuttal, that argument that really refutes a counter-argument. Those are two words you really need to know for this unit: counter-argument and rebuttal. Why is addressing a counterclaim with a rebuttal important? When you make an argument, you're using rhetoric, right? That's the name of our unit. We're in a rhetoric unit. To convince the audience you're right, it's important to make sure that you seem credible in front of your audience. In order to do that, you need to make sure you mention a counter-argument in your argument. By doing this, you're proving that you're reliable because you've considered other points of view. Most importantly, you cannot leave a counter-argument just hanging around in your writing. You have to back that up. You have to further address the counter-argument with that rebuttal in order to further prove and win your argument. So this will work for you if you're arguing for a raise, if you decide to become a lawyer, if you're really coming up with reasons why you should not have to wash the dishes. These are the skills you want to really, really develop and build. So let's look at a model. Let's process through it. Let's practice. And let's get some feedback. Here's our first model sentence. It says, e-cigarettes are just as harmful to bystanders' health as regular cigarettes are. E-cigarette proponent can claim that the electronic cigarettes are not toxic to others in the smoker's vicinity just because it is just water vapor that is being expelled into the air. They emphasize the fact that there is no tobacco or carbon monoxide being released. Even though this is true, what the proponents fail to mention is the other harmful elements that are in the smoke, such as several carcinogens and other dangerous toxins they are still testing in order to understand just how potent they are. Not only does this prove that e-cigarettes expose toxic chemicals to others, it also shows that e-cigarettes could be even more harmful than we know, since not all of the carcinogens have been identified yet. Why risk the chance of harming others' health by allowing e-cigarettes in buildings? We should just ban all cigarettes, electronic or not, in order to ensure the safety of innocent bystanders. So let's look at that for a second. You've got the counter-argument here in red, right? This is your counter-argument. E-cigarette proponents, so these are the people that are fans, right? The fans claim that they're not toxic. So that's right. Fans claim not toxic. Now we needed to add that rebuttal. So here, this is true, not toxic. Yes, true, but what they're not, these proponents, these fans are not talking about other items that might be harmful. So now you've given your audience, not only, I understand where you're coming from, but here's something that we need to also consider. So that is our rebuttal. Think about this. Does this make sense? Do you see how the author used a claim? Gave the example of what other people might be saying, discredited that statement with a different fact, and then went on to prove their own, to state their own argument. This is why I believe this. What is a counter-argument? What is a rebuttal? Did you see it? Does it make sense? Why does addressing a counter-argument with a rebuttal make you more convincing to your audience? What are your thoughts on that? Practice with partners. I know we're remote, so you can use the partner spreadsheet in Google Classroom. You can work with me, your choice, but just think this out. Your job is to identify the counter argument. We're going to actually do this in Ed Puzzle, so not highlighting. You'll have some options, and we want to find the counter argument, and we want to find the rebuttal. Many people argue that bullying is a natural part of society and that the only way to prevent more serious effects of bullying is to punish those who did it and help the victims. But I believe this is only doing something after the fact when we should be working toward prevention. Once bullying has started to the point that it has been brought to adults' attention, a cycle is in place that's hard to get out of. The bully feels in power and sometimes also ashamed. Sometimes there are others involved, spectators, that keep the bullying going by laughing or joining in. And often the victim has internalized some of the messages they have gotten and feels that no one can help them. See if you can select the correct counterargument and the rebuttal. Were you right? In this example, the statement, but I believe that this is only doing something after the fact. So this is the speaker's counter argument, right? This speaker wants to talk about preventing bullying. Prevent, not react. And to back that up, our author has this rebuttal. Here's the why, right? This is the fact why we need to prevent bullying, not react to it. And then our author listed 3 reasons why we need to prevent, not react. How are you doing? Let's try it again. In this sentence, in this passage, try it on your own. Again, we're looking for the counterargument and the rebuttal. Some people believe that cell phones distract students in class and teachers cannot control what they are working on. However, teachers can control the use of cell phones in some different ways. For example, they can control the time or ask questions after students use phones. In fact, if someone is really distracted by phone, schools can set up some rules to limit students. The teacher can also make the student absent if they use their phone a lot. Phones are still a little disturbing to some students, but a translator is more important. In other words, cell phones can explain new knowledge, which is easier for students to understand. Do you see the counterargument? Did you find the rebuttal? This one, we mix it up a little bit. The rebuttal is all the way at the bottom of the passage. So we've got this initial statement about some people believing cell phones distract students. And our author is saying, no, teachers can control it. It's fine. So here's our counter argument. Teacher control, right? This is what they're saying. And the rebuttal, the reason how the teacher can control is because the new phones can help student learning instead of distract student learning. So here's the rebuttal. And all inside, in between here, we've got our examples. Number 1, number 2, our reasoning. That's those thought process, all the different ways. This is a student example, so you can see there are 4 different reasons that support the counterargument and the rebuttal. Now it's time for me to grade your Ed puzzle. Let's see how you did. But I'd also like some feedback from you. Was this helpful? And do you feel like you understand counterarguments and rebuttals pretty confidently on your own now?